Sometimes it's also known as market to book ratio. That's price divided by total equity per share. I'm not going to calculate them myself. Right here I have for Kroger 314. Let's look at for Walmart. 557. Loose interpretation of that. What is the premium you pay over and above the book value? In this case, for Walmart, you're paying about 450% premium. You know, price to book minus 1 is the premium. And for Kroger, it's about 200% premium. And the reason those are can be high, market is somehow imputing a lot of future growth opportunities. Because you're saying this firm is going to grow a lot in the future, so I'm paying for those. But I wouldn't normally use price to book that much. One of the reasons is it's the book value of equity. The trouble is, book value of equity, it's basically book value of assets minus book value of liabilities. Book value of liabilities is pretty close to market value, but you can have a lot of distortions in book value of assets. If firms are relatively comparable, sure. And price to book typically tends to be much higher for tech companies compared to retail. For banks, typically it's around 1. And sometimes we also calculate something called price to sales. It's price divided by revenue per share. Some people use it. I never like using this for investment purposes because PE ratio doesn't make any sense if earnings are negative, okay? So since revenues will never be negative, some people use that. An alternative one is called EV over EBITDA. I'll never make you calculate this, but which is short for enterprise value. Divided by earnings before interest, taxes, and depreciation and amortization. And EV is, roughly speaking, it's market value of firm plus market value of liabilities. So EV basically gets rid of the effect of leveraged. Okay? It looks at the unleveraged firm. And EBITDA takes out anything interest, taxes, and depreciation. So you're basically calculating a ratio for the unleveraged firm before and for operating income. So in a sense, how much money they're making per market value of assets, in a sense. And you could read those here. For Kroger or for Walmart, it's 14. For Kroger, it's 7. It has the interpretation of PE as well. So even here, taking the effect of leveraged out, remember, Kroger is a much more leveraged firm compared to Walmart. They have a much lower EV over EBITDA. So even there, Kroger is a better investment. I should think more about this investment opportunity. I'm going to borrow some money from my retirement in January. I may put some of that into that trade. Put it into Roth IRA. I don't know if I could short stocks there, but I know I can buy put options. So we'll do something about that. Let's give a break. Let's get back here at 7:35. We're going to solve a lot of problems from chapter 3. All right. We lost even more people. Let's do some problems. I also reopened chapter 2 until this Friday. If you're not happy with what you got, you can redo it. Remember, the maximum counts. And I haven't seen anybody partnering with anybody, so that was easy to grade.
So you said we could redo it?
You can redo it if you're not happy with what you got.
If we redo it, we didn't have a partner originally, can we have a partner on the redo?
Yes, you can. All right. Now, let's see.
Is this one due on Friday?
No. This one is due next Wednesday.
Next one's.
Yeah. If you need more time, I'll give you more
So
time.
we're gonna play Jeopardy on this before the quiz?
Before the end of the quiz.
Yeah. So,
But it's always a good idea to get some attempts in.
okay.
If you're happy, you're happy. You know, you get a 95, you're sitting pretty.
Right.
If you get a 50, you can do it again. And you cannot do worse. All right. Let's see. The blank ratio of a leverage firm compares the price per share of stock to total equity per share. What do you think is that?
Would that be the PE ratio?
No,
No.
that would be price divided by earnings. This is price divided by total equity. We just talked about this. Total equity is also known as the book value of the firm. So this is price to book or market to book, whichever one. The blank is equal to 1 plus that equity ratio. You should remember this. You kind of defined it.
Is that the equity multiplier?
It's the equity multiplier. By the way, you have no excuse to miss these questions in the quizzes. I mean, there's no cop next to you. Even if there is, it's open book. Even if I had in-class exams, they would have been open book. It's just not open friends. But at home, it's also open friends. I mean, I don't care where you do the learning. Eli and Sons want to reevaluate its assets to determine if its mix of assets has changed over time. To do this, they should compile balance sheets for each of the past few years. True or false?
True.
Why?
I mean, they want to see if it changed over time, so they're gonna need a few years of.
Yeah, but are they necessarily comparable?
The balance sheet shows the assets mix rather than the income statement, showing the mix of like the assets.
Yes, but if you want to compare them over the years, you have to standardize them. So you should compile common size balance sheets. That's why it's false. If a firm has 100% dividend payout ratio, then the internal growth rate of the firm is equal to ROA divided by 1 minus ROA. True or false? Remember the definition of internal growth rate? Where are you? It's ROA times retention ratio divided by 1 minus ROA times retention ratio. So given that, tell me whether this statement is correct or not. If the dividend payout ratio is 100%, what's the retention ratio?
Would it be none?
None, zero, babkes, ničeho, sıfır. I can say zero in a lot of different languages. So in that case, internal growth rate would be precisely zero. So it's false. A firm has days sales and inventory of 46. This means firm grants its customers 46 days to pay for their purchases. True or false?